This Coast to Coast Entertainment Network program is brought to you by Beside Me Bracelets. Our bracelets are handmade for any occasion. Use the promo code Coast to Coast for 15% off. Visit their website at besideme.com. Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry. With 24-hour shopping available, use the code 160920 and show her some love, like she showed us. Reaper Apparel Company, a commitment to live your most authentic way every single day. Visit reaperapparelco.com for more information and a look at all of their apparel offerings. And by Good Day Embroidery, your local source for custom embroidery, screen printing, and more. Log on to gooddayembroidery.com for more information.
Hello and welcome everybody to another episode of Entertainment Hour here on the Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. I am your host, Dragon Viper, alongside my co-host, Chris. How are you doing, Chris?
I am good. How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing good. How are you doing, Sarah?
I'm doing good.
Yep. And so, sorry. I know we're on a different night. Just busy. So, especially that now that summer's happening, it's gonna probably be a little bit more busy. But we'll make sure to get on here as much as we can. So I'm hoping everybody is having a great start of summer, and we will be off next week. I forgot what was going on, but So anyway, we'll be taking a break next week, but then we'll be back a couple weeks after that. So, anyways. So we're going to go ahead and start the show here. And as we always like to start, talk about the programs here on the Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. There's several good ones. I've been in and out of, watching them. So go ahead and let us know what kind of shows are on here, Chris.
So we got Entertainment Hour normally on Fridays, but tonight's Entertainment Hour. On Deck's usually Saturday, and then you have Between the Ropes on Sunday. Monday is C2C at night. Tuesday you'll have Rank 'em. Wednesday Sports Minute, and then I believe that's it. So, but we're looking to add more shows and maybe changing some time slots. So just stay with Coast to Coast.
Yeah, absolutely. Which. It'll be nice to get more shows on here because I'm missing some shows But anyway, and we have a comment on here from Jean, my mom, saying hi, y'all. Hey, how's it going, Mom?
Hi, Mom.
Hope you enjoy dinner. Anyway, and so we're gonna go ahead and move on to the entertainment news. What can I say? We did lose some celebrities this week to mention. First off, and I know Mom's watching, so I don't know if she knows this, but at least a couple of the people have passed away. She knows who they are, but I don't know if she knew that they passed away. First one is Brian Wilson, who was in the group The Beach Boys. The sad thing is he passed away 9 days before his 83rd birthday. Passed away. Yeah, I know. Just it's almost like a Betty White situation. You're getting close to another birthday. You're getting excited. They probably had family who had plans to do something, and then 9 days before he passes away, on the 11th. As of yesterday, there was no actual cause of how why he passed away. He did suffer from dementia, so that could possibly be a good a possible reason. And his wife died last year. So because of his wife dying last year, His family put him under conservatorship. So now they are in control of him and his money, his finances, and his pretty much his decisions because of him having dementia. So, or they were in charge. Sorry. Anyway, and then next one is Harris Yerlin. They listed different movies he was in, but the main movie that I remember him being in was Ghostbusters 2. He was actually the judge in that movie where the Ghostbusters were in court, and they brought the slime from underneath the road to the court. Judge got really irate about it and continued yelling when they told him to stop. And then a couple ghosts from that slime ended up attacking that courtroom. But yeah, I remember him at least in that movie. He passed away on the 10th of this month, and he was 87 years old. He died from cardiac arrest or heart attack, however you want to put it. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all about him. Then we have now, I don't know, Chris, if you watched MTV, especially late 90s, early 2000s.
A little bit.
There was, I somewhere in my collection of junk, I have a VHS tape of TRL summer 1999 countdown. It was a 50 top videos of TRL throughout the summertime. And this person, Ananda Lewis, was actually one of the interviewers that would be on that show and would introduce videos and stuff like that. But she was an MTV VJ, and that's where I remember her from. She was 52 years old when she passed away, which was also on the 11th. She ended up dying from breast cancer, and like I said, she's from what I remember, she's from TRL. Especially helping with that countdown. And being young, 52, geez.
Yeah.
I could just imagine that's only 12 years older than I am now. So that's kind of scary there. And then the last person that we have, and I don't know who he is. I'm sure my mom does. I don't know if you know, but the last person is Sly Stone. He was a funk music singer from the 60s. So I don't know. I didn't know who he was, and honestly, I forgot to write down, but I don't remember what songs he did, but it was from the 60s.
Yeah, I'm looking. Hold on.
And then he passed away at age 82 for having COPD. Which I heard that's a tough thing to live through, having COPD. Yeah. And before I move on, I want to see what Chris brings up.
I don't see anything. I know he's done stuff, but I don't see anything about what music he was producing. So
yeah, well, I wish I had written it down.
Okay, I got some. Family Affairs, Thank You, Everybody is a Star, Running Away, Stand, Dance to the Music. That kind of sounds familiar.
Yeah, it does.
Let's see. Those are just some of them.
Okay, and yeah, so see, I didn't even, but dance to the music. That kind of sounds familiar. It was almost like it was on Shrek because they sang that song. So I don't know if it's the same, but anyway. Before I move on to the other news, do you guys have anything to mention about the people that had passed away? Sarah?
I think it's sad, but I'm also realizing that a lot of the people that we knew growing up and whatnot are coming to that age. You mentioned Betty White; she was a big favorite. So just knowing their age coming up, and I mean, I was a fan of the Beach Boys. My grandma loved them; she absolutely adored them. And so we listened to him and danced around the house with him all the time. So hearing that he passed away was sad. I don't know about the other guy though. I don't recognize who he is.
From Ghostbusters?
Yeah,
2?
the guy from Ghostbusters. Like when you showed me the picture of him, I was like, oh, he kind of looks familiar, but I don't know. Not somebody that I was too familiar with. And I missed the other person.
The other person was Ananda Lewis or Sly Stone.
Oh yeah. Ananda for sure. She was big MTV back in the day when we were kids. So seeing that she passed away was sad. Especially she's the one who died from breast cancer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's sad seeing that.
Chris?
Yeah, it is definitely sad. Hearing all the stars or celebrities that passed on that we, grown fond of listening or watching. It's never fun, but
Yeah, you're right. And then they can rest in peace. And I've been posting stuff like that on my Facebook, so it'll come up next year. 1 year, things like that. So in my memories. All right, and then moving on in the news. I don't know if you've seen the first version of this, Chris, but they have announced all over the place that Spaceballs 2
I've seen it. Yeah, they've been showing one clip where it's like, I want you to comb the entire area.
Yeah, I loved.
They had
part.
giant combs.
So I know my mom. I don't remember if she liked it or not. She did. She has seen it though. But I think the major thing about this movie is not. I mean, it's the fact that it's 40 years in the making. Because the first movie was out in 1987, so you're looking at almost 40 years. There's two big reasons of this big announcement. That was the first one, was the time difference, and then the second is they are bringing celebrities out, actors out that have retired, that you originally would not see anymore because they are in retirement, like people like Rick Moranis. He and I think I've mentioned this on the show before, but he has mentioned that he does not want to be in the spotlight. He's done acting. He's done with everything. He just wants to spend time at home with his kids, things like that. But he's coming out of retirement for this movie. And he's 72 years old, which I'm shocked he's that old already.
And the director is 99?
The director, Mel Brooks, is 98.
Okay.
And even he's coming out of retirement to be, part of this movie as well.
Now, wasn't it like a Star Wars spin-off or a spoof or something?
Yeah, it's a Star Wars spoof. Mel Brooks is 98. He's coming out of retirement to do this, and as well as I believe writing it. And then we have Bill Pullman, who is now 71, and he's coming out of retirement. to do this. So big news all over the internet, all over, I mean, it's getting to the point where you kind of can't escape from hearing about it.
We're seeing past clips, or I've seen that too.
Yeah,
What we were
between
talking about.
YouTube and Facebook, and if you're on social media, you're going to end up seeing it. So
Yeah. I saw it, I think yesterday or today or something like that.
yeah, I have a coworker who's talking about it, showed me, or at least talked to me about it. Then of course, it's all over. So
Yeah.
it should be interesting to see. I thought the first one was funny, so we'll have to see about the second one. And then, I mean, especially since John Candy's no longer around, and he was in the first one. So, yeah, we'll have to see how this goes.
I don't know. It worries me because it's been so long since it came out. It was an amazing show in the first place. At least I think so. I think anything Mel Brooks has done is amazing. But I think that I just hope they don't ruin it,
I mean, it's a new generation too, so we'll have to see how this goes.
Yeah, that's the concerning part, is that and I'm sure people are going to watch the first one and point out, oh, this part's not going to really work out now, or
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
something
With the cancel culture, or whatever they call it. Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know.
So
I thought I saw something where they said that they already found someone to make it like John Candy's son, basically. I forget the guy, the character he played. I know it was like a dog thing, but it's supposed to be like his kid or something like that.
wow, I didn't hear about that. That's cool. And then another thing in the news that I had found was, so Chris, you know who this football player is, but former NFL player Antonio Brown. I don't know if you heard this story, but
I think I saw something, but I'm not 100%.
yeah, he actually has a warrant out for, as of yesterday. I don't know if it's changed or not, or if they arrested him now, but as of yesterday, he has a warrant out for his arrest out in Miami. According to the news that I read, he went and this is alleged, so I don't know if it's completely 100% true, but this is what
Right.
Other people or news sources are saying. But they said that he allegedly ended up stealing a security guard's gun over at a what was it? A boxing event. And he ended up, while at the boxing event, he got into a issue with another person there, decided he was going to steal the security guard's gun, and attempted to kill the guy with it. So Antonio Brown's looking at possible attempted murder charges and could find himself in prison for a very long time. So, and it happened on the 16th of May in 2024. So it took them a year to gather all the evidence and everything else to put out that warrant.
He's 3 days younger than I am.
So, I mean, if he did it, I hope they get him. Yesterday they actually had a picture on that I read on Instagram of him kind of mocking the cops, and because the warrants out,
That's a no-no.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the warrants out in Miami, they're looking all over for him, and he sent a picture out on Instagram, pretty much saying, "Here I am, try and find me." but it didn't say where the location was, and they didn't
Oh.
even know if the picture was a current picture or a previous.
I was gonna
So-
say, if you forgot to turn off the location settings.
yeah, that'd be dumb of him. But yeah, so I thought I thought that was disrespectful of him, mocking the cops
Yeah.
like that.
Yep.
And then we have now. I think I've heard you say before that you've seen like a couple episodes of Jersey Shore.
Yeah, once in a while. Maybe not a full season, but yeah, I've seen bits and pieces.
Okay, well, they have a character on there named The Situation, real name
Yeah.
Mike
Yeah.
Sorrentino. Well, he, during the first, I want to say, 3 or 4 seasons of the show, he had been addicted to painkillers. He had been addicted to alcohol, and mixing the two together made it even worse for him. Well, he ended up being sober. I think by the 5th season, he went to a sober living and everything else, and things got better. Well, 10 years ago, he's been sober,
Good.
and because of that, he actually became an intervention. He is now intervention certified, so he could go to AA meetings and stuff like that, and he can, do an intervention for these people that are addicted to that kind of thing. And then the other thing about him is the fact that him and his wife Lauren are now talking about launching a treatment center, and down in or over near Jersey.
Oh, cool.
So, I mean, things are looking up for him. It just shows right there that you can be an addict, get clean, get sober, and then improve your life from there.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's awesome.
yeah. So anyway, that's pretty much what he's doing. And then the last news story I have is R. Kelly. We all know what R. Kelly did, or if we don't, look it up. I can't really talk about it on air. But
Yeah.
R. Kelly is in prison right now, and he had to talk with his attorney about Diddy, about Sean Combs. And this kind of makes me sick. I mean, I like a few songs from R. Kelly, but his actions have made it to where I don't like him as a person.
Mm-hmm.
What sent him to prison is one thing that I made it to where I didn't. I mean, I don't like him as a person for that reason, for one. Well, according to R. Kelly's attorney, R. Kelly actually sympathizes with Sean Combs. He feels bad for him and said that, now this is ridiculous, says black entertainers are under siege. So that means R. Kelly's sitting there saying that those black entertainers are getting in trouble and are getting targeted. It's like, I think R. Kelly's been in prison way too long, because if you do the crime, you do the time. It doesn't matter what gender you are. It doesn't matter what color you are. If you do a crime, you're going to be in prison. You're going to go to jail.
Right.
So I think R. Kelly's been in prison too long, or hit his head too many times against that cinder block wall. I don't know, but he's sitting there saying that he feels bad for Diddy, for what Diddy's going through, and then says that they're being targeted and their race and color are being targeted. Well, maybe if they would stop doing stupid stuff and stop committing crimes, they won't be targeted. But I mean, that's just a thought.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I had to bring that up because R. Kelly, he has a few good songs, but as a human being, he's a terrible human being, and just proves right there that he's even more terrible. So, so Chris, what's your thoughts about the news that I read? I mean, do you have any?
No, it's good. Yeah, it's good of what the situation is doing, turning his life around, and then now helping others, and that's a good wholesome story.
Yeah, I mean, he even did an episode on there where or on Jersey Shore, which they're now calling family, Jersey Shore's family reunion, where they still go on, where they travel all across the country and visit different things and everything else. Well, Mike actually went to jail, and it showed on one of the episodes of him going to jail because of tax evasion. But shortly before that, he admitted that he's cleaned his life up and he doesn't drink anymore and he's not on painkillers and things like that. And he ended up in jail for tax evasion. Well, when he got out of jail, it showed him actually taking one of his friends from the show and going to a rehab center. And that way he could sit there and he could talk to those that were dealing with their addictions and they really enjoyed it. So obviously they couldn't have the camera rolling while that was going on because of, confidentiality. But yeah, he's doing much better. He's staying away from alcohol. He's still hanging out with them while some of them are still drinking and partying, but he's staying clean. And he's happily married, and I think they have a kid now, so he's doing much better, and I'm happy for him about that. All right, you got anything?
I was just gonna say I'm surprised because he was one of the bigger partiers, on the show. The whole reason he got his nickname and whatnot, but I mean, I'm proud of anyone who can get clean and sober. I mean, I'm on the same path, so it's something that I always look forward to hearing.
And not only that, but not having the pressure of having your friends continue to do it, and you still hang around them, take him down. So.
Yeah, that's and when you're in recovery, they tell you not to do that because a lot of people can't handle it. They can't handle being around somebody else using or whatever. And so it's good that he's able to abstain still and be able to be, do interventions and whatnot and go to, excuse me, and go to rehab to speak to people and whatnot.
So. All right, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next topic. We've decided to go ahead and shorten the Where Are They Now, actors and actresses because this show just tends to run over a little bit more than it should. So we're pretty much shortened down the actors and actresses of where they're at. So I only got a few here, but the show that we're talking about is the movie Hook. I didn't need to put Robin Williams. We all know about Robin Williams. We talked about him last week, so I didn't even put him down. But he still did a really great job in that movie. And then we have Dustin Hoffman, who played Captain Hook. I like Dustin Hoffman. But And as many know, he's still involved in the entertainment business. He's still acting. He's still doing his thing at 87 years old. So I can't even believe he's 87.
I can't believe that either. Holy cow.
I mean, can
Right.
you believe
No.
it? But so yeah, he's still in the entertainment business
He's a really good actor.
at that age, and yeah, he is a really good actor. Then we have have you seen that movie, Chris?
It's probably been a while, but I think I have, yeah.
Okay, there's a character on there named Rufio, played
Uh-huh.
by Dante Bosco. To this day, he's still acting. He hosts a podcast and he hosts his own gameplay on Twitch. So, if you want to try and find him, I guess just type up his name, Dante Bosco, and you'll see him on Twitch playing games.
I did see that there were a couple of people on TikTok who were pretending to be him, saying that they were him, and like dressing up as Rufio, and trying to make people believe that he was really, that they were really the grown-up version of Rufio.
And then we have Bob Hoskins. Now, he plays Smee on the movie Hook, but I actually like him in other movies. One of the movies I do like him in is the 90s version movie of Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers. I do.
Oh, yeah, I forgot they made a 90s version.
that was my favorite. I mean, you have the Super Mario Brothers movie now, but with it being, cartoon and everything else. But I really liked the older version.
Right.
And then Mom commented and said, "I can believe Dustin Hoffman is out." Well, you were watching movies when he was a kid or something. I don't know. But anyway, so Bob,
He was a dreamboat back in her day.
Bob Hoskins, he is now retired from acting. He actually retired in 2012. He was diagnosed with Parkinson's in 2011, which is probably why he retired. And he did actually pass away. April 29th of 14 at the age of 71, but he passed away due to pneumonia. So he's actually been gone 11 years already. Doesn't even seem like it.
Mhm.
He'd be 82, huh?
Yeah. And then
Must have made him look older then, because Hook seemed like he would have been a lot younger than.
mhm.
Yeah.
And then we got some entertainment facts here for the movie. Maggie Smith, who played Wendy as the grandma. She was actually 56 at the time the movie was made, and they literally had to do a bunch of makeup and everything just to make it look like she was 97.
Oh, wow.
So
she played in a variety of movies that were amazing too.
Sister Act, not Sister Act. Yes, Sister Act.
Mhm.
And then we have here's what surprised me. Bob Hoskins actually bought beer for 300 plus extras after a lengthy and complicated scene was cut out. So he felt bad about a certain scene that I guess all these people were in, and it got cut from the movie, from the final project, from the movie being released. So he felt bad and decided he was going to buy 300 plus people that were supposed to be extras in that movie beer. Now that's a generous guy right there.
That's a lot of beer. Why?
So that's a generous guy right there.
Mhm.
And then we have Carrie Fisher did do some uncredited rewriting on the final draft of the screenplay. So she had some say so on that movie, of how, last minute how the movie was going to be and how it was going to end. So, which Carrie Fisher, we all know, is Leia,
Was.
was Leia from Star Wars. So she had her
Mhm.
hand in that movie.
Yeah.
She
And
actually had her hand in a lot of movies, and you'd be surprised if you look it up.
then we have Steven Spielberg. He actually openly at one point admitted he didn't even like the movie when it was done, because he was absolutely not happy with it. There was a bunch of rebellious kids on that movie that was not listening and doing what they were supposed to be doing. Even got to the point where Steven Spielberg questioned about having any more children because of them. That's pretty bad
Mhm.
when you question the future of if you want more children off of other children when they don't listen and everything else. But nowadays, he is actually glad he made the movie and the movie was done, because before Robin Williams passed away, Steven Spielberg and Robin Williams actually became very good friends. So Steven Spielberg's now happy it was made because that's how they became really good friends. And so yeah, which surprised me that Steven Spielberg wasn't even happy to begin with about that movie being done. And then the last fact that we have is Dustin Hoffman. Okay, so this is crazy. Dustin Hoffman's 3 children actually made appearances in the movie.
Wow.
His youngest son actually plays the 5-year-old Peter Pan from when they had they went back in time when he was little. That was his youngest son. His daughter played Jane in the play at the beginning of the movie. So Robin Williams runs over to his son's play. I think it was his son or one of his kids' play, and goes to the school when they sit down. But one of the characters in that play named Jane, that was Dustin Hoffman's daughter. And then the last kid, the oldest son, actually played Little League. He was one of the Little League players in Jack's baseball game at the beginning. When Robin Williams in that show was late, it was actually at that time that his oldest son was in that game too. So I thought that was interesting. All right.
Yeah.
And then we're moving on to the next topic, which I had thought about. And Chris, I don't know if you like to know some history in entertainment.
Sure.
So I added, a little extra, an extra topic on here called "This Day in Entertainment History," which was, again, usually our show's Fridays, so it's based off of yesterday. But so back in 05, 20 years. Wow, 20 years. I didn't even think about it. Michael Jackson was acquitted of all child abuse charges after a 14-week trial. That was 20 years ago. Doesn't even seem like it should be 20 years. But then we have 1975. John Lennon made his last TV appearance singing Imagine. before I think he was assassinated. So yeah, it was his last TV appearance before he passed away. And the last thing I have for this day in history is 1981. Tom Snyder, who was a TV news person, he actually was able to interview the murderer Charles Manson on the TV show Tomorrow. The new show Tomorrow. So figured that was interesting. All right, and then we're gonna go ahead and move on from there, and we're gonna go to a question. Now, I want to know, Chris, if you had to watch a movie for 24 hours, what movie would it be and why?
What was the question?
If you had to watch a movie, if you were forced to watch one movie for 24 hours, you can't watch anything else but that one movie for 24 hours, what movie would that be and why?
Oh, man. I know you probably won't like this actor, but I like, the movies he was in. Anything Jim Carrey or Ace Ventura.
Ace Ventura. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I like that movie.
I watched, it was pretty funny growing up, and a lot of the lines you could probably use today. So.
Yeah. All right, and then Sarah, what would your movie be?
I got it all written down. If I could watch the same movie for 24 hours straight, it'd be a toss-up between The Princess Bride and Labyrinth. The Princess Bride has been one of my comfort movies for as long as I can remember. It's got everything from adventure, true love, sword fights, and just the right amount of ridiculousness. No matter how many times I watch it, it still makes me laugh and feel like a kid again. It's the kind of story that never loses its magic. But then, of course, there's Labyrinth, which is pure nostalgic chaos in the best way. The music, the puppets, David Bowie being completely unforgettable. It's weird and wonderful and feels like stepping into a dream. I grew up watching it, and even now it feels like visiting a strange, familiar world where anything could happen. I don't think I could choose just one of them. They both hit that sweet spot of childhood wonder and timeless fun. Perfect for getting lost in for a whole day.
Well, that's pretty good. I mean, yeah. And I actually like those movies too. So, I'm going to have to say, there's several, but it's a toss-up between, and I'm only doing this because my mom's watching, but Beavis and Butthead Do America. I could watch that for 24 hours, and it'd be fun. What was it? And the other movie that I could watch is Walking Tall, because of the fact that, even though The Rock annoys me, it's that genre and era of Rock's movies where he didn't annoy me, that he wasn't annoying or anything like that. And I like the fact that, it's probably because of the fact that when I worked for casino and I was doing valet, I was working graveyards. There was really nothing much to do. So that would be actually one movie that I would watch every night that I worked. And it'd probably be one of the movies that I would watch. I could actually watch for 24 hours. And my mom did a kind of like a shocked face because I said Beavis and Butthead. So that was for you, Mom, just because I knew you'd react to it. So
Is that the only reason you chose that movie?
yeah, it's the only reason. But I'm just saying I could watch it for 24 hours. I want Mom to watch it at least once.
Yeah, right.
Love you, Mom.
You'd have to tie her up and force her eyes open.
Oh no. So, all right, and then yeah. And then we're moving on to everybody's favorite celebrity birthdays. Dun, dun, dun. All right, first off, we're going to start with, and Mom, pay attention. We're going to start off with Fantastic Four member who was Flame on the movie, as well as on other Avenger movies, Chris Evans.
Okay.
42.
50? I would say 50. Might be way off.
Mom said yay. I don't know what. Oh, because of it being celebrity birthday, or it might be. So Sarah said 42. You said 50.
Yes.
Mom said 38. Sarah's closer with 44.
Okay. I wasn't that far off, though.
And then everybody knows this guy. Everybody knows him. Tim Allen.
Huh? I can't
Tim
do
Allen.
that. Yeah.
68.
I'm going to say 65.
Well, even Mom says 68. All y'all are wrong. He's older than that. He's 72.
That was my first thought in my head, too. I was like 72, and then I was like, no, that's got to be way too old.
No, he is
Wow.
72 years old yesterday. And then we have Richard Thomas, who plays John Boy on The Waltons. I never watched The Waltons, so I don't know who he is, but I think my mom knows who he is.
I'm going to say he's like 78.
I'm thinking like 89.
Wow.
I don't know who it is, and I don't know what the Waltons is.
Mom's closer. He actually just turned 74. So, and then everybody knows who they are. Yeah, they're twins. Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen.
39.
I'm going to say 40.
And wait a second for Mom's response.
You should have thrown us off and said Michelle.
Huh?
You should have thrown us off and said Michelle from Full House.
Mom said 35. Actually, it's 39. Sarah got it right.
I only know that because I know they're 2 years older than me.
And then we have, I know Mom's not going to probably know who this is because she hates this show and she'd rather me and Ray not, my brother not watch it. But from the show Jackass, good old Steve-O.
51.
I'm going to say 53.
And Mom's probably going to do a question mark because she didn't like that show.
I've heard some of his stories, and they're out there.
They are out there. They are crazy. They are, yeah.
If I remember correctly, he's now clean and sober.
I think so, yeah.
And Mom said 53. Yeah, Sarah was right with 51. So then I might be the only one that knows who this is. But if anybody listened to country in the 2000s, there was a singer who sang Live in Our Love Song, or he also sang Alyssa Lies, Jason Michael Carroll.
Sorry, I almost said his name.
I don't know. Um,
He's probably like 40, if that. He's probably not even that
I'm
old.
gonna say 44.
He's a real good singer. Actually, he sounds like Tracy Lawrence in some of his songs. Mom, question mark. 47.
Is he really that old?
Yeah.
Wow.
47 years old.
I thought he was close to our age. He had gorgeous long blonde hair, too.
But if you close your eyes and listen to him, especially in Living Our Love Song, close your eyes, listen to it. He sounds just like Tracy Lawrence, which I'm surprised Mom hasn't heard. But
Alyssa Lies is a very sad song.
But Mom loves Tracy Lawrence, so you figure she'd hear from him. But all right. And then next up, you know who this is, Chris, especially following WWF back in 1990s. Thrasher from the Headbangers, Mosh and Thrasher.
Okay. I'm gonna say 66. I don't know.
I'm not sure who they are.
They came out and
Probably like 52.
Mom said 58. Actually, Mom's closer, 56. So Mom was close there. All right, and then working on today. Anybody who's a fan of Baywatch knows who this is. Yasmin Bleeth. And we're talking about the Baywatch that has David Hasselhoff in it, not that.
I was gonna say when you said Baywatch, I was like, okay, I know one. um, $55. I really don't know.
Wow, Chris was real close. 57. So, and then anybody that likes Culture Club knows the song Karma Chameleon, or Do You Really Want to Hurt Me? The lead singer, Boy George.
Sorry.
We'll go 68. I'm probably under or over. I mean,
He's probably. Let's see. My mom is 52 almost, I think. So he's probably around the same age.
Which is
62.
what? You're closer. He's actually 64. Mom said 69. Nope, 64 years old. Then we have, if anybody knows who Cutting Crew is, 90s pop type of music, had the song I Just Died in Your Arms Tonight.
okay.
Lead singer Nick Van Eater.
Yeah, I don't know. 70.
Mom said question mark.
That's where I'm getting.
65.
You're actually closer. 67. And then this person was on the movie Remember the Titans as Coach Bill. I can't even see my handwriting. Yost? Yeah, Bill. Coach Yost. For anybody that has watched Remember the Titans. Will Patton.
It's been a long time. Good movie, but it's been a while. No, I got that song on my head. 78.
Mom said 72. You said 78.
Who again?
Will Patton. He played Remember the Titans coach Bill Yost.
68.
Mom was close. Actually, you just turned 71 today. Now, everybody in this country should know this guy. He is the current president of the United States of America. I had to. Mr. Donald J. Trump. I know we don't do politics, but I had to.
It's not really politics.
Well, no.
I'm gonna say 70. I know he was up there.
73.
And Mom said 72. It's actually, he's older than that. 79.
I was closest.
I knew he was up there, but I'm like, should I go lower?
Yeah. So I could say more, but about today's events, but I'm not going to.
It's also the Navy's birthday.
Yeah, it's the Navy's birthday. Okay, it's in the news. I'll just say it. People were having issues because of the fact that Trump wanted to have his birthday celebrated. The Navy got mad, and people across the country were either rioting or picketing. I know where we live, they were on the boardwalk. There was like a ton of people with signs, picketing and everything else about it. And yeah, so
Yeah.
I was just kind of like, nah, whatever. And then I went on. But,
Yeah.
all right. And then for tomorrow, we got some for tomorrow. First person is rapper turned actor Ice Cube.
$59. And I could be wrong on that because it seems like he doesn't age.
He doesn't. It seems like he really doesn't.
And his son looks identical to him.
Oh,
Yeah.
and I need to
Ice
step away
Cube?
from Law and Order. Think you can fill in?
He's got to be like 71. I don't know how old
No,
he is.
actually, he's turning 56.
Ice Cube?
Yeah, Ice Cube from Are We There Yet?
Oh,
and
I
Friday
was
and-
thinking of the wrong person. Never
Oh.
mind.
Not Ice-T.
That's who I was thinking of.
Yeah, I figured. Then we
But
have
he said Law and Order. He confused me.
then we have Courtney Cox.
I don't care.
Ouch. It's funny about Courtney Cox though, because of the fact that I would actually go through school and say that Courtney Cox was a cousin of mine, just because of the last name.
That was her married name,
People, no,
wasn't it? Oh no, Arquette's her married
Arquette
name.
was-
Yeah.
No, people actually believed me and thought that I was being serious, that she was my cousin.
Why would you lie? How dare you lie? How dare you? You're just telling your mom all your dirty secrets.
Oh, I already told her. But I don't know if she
I'm going to
remembers.
say 60.
58.
Mom says 48. 61.
That was close.
And Christy Wilson's coming. How's it going, Christy? She says Ice Cube is 56. Damn. Yeah. He's younger than I thought he was, but
He doesn't age.
Exactly. Doesn't age. And then we have from the movie Twister, as well as I think, Mad About You, Helen Hunt.
She's got to be at least 62.
63.
Ow.
And then actually Sarah got it right at 62. So she's definitely getting up there in age. Although I think my mom's older than her. Anyway, next we have Leah.
Wait, how old's your mom?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Next we have Leah Remini, King of Queens. Let's see. King of Queens, and then she was an actress in a few other things too.
Leah
Remini.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about.
Mom's like, hey.
Isn't your mom like my mom's age?
I don't know.
I think she's probably like
Mom said question mark.
50, 48, probably in her 40s.
I'm going to say 51.
55.
Oh, wow.
She doesn't look 55 either.
No, I thought she was older.
Wasn't she part of, or not part, but she dug into that Scientology stuff?
Yeah, she's one of the main celebrities. Tom Cruise was another one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she's definitely heavy into the Scientology stuff. And then we have lead singer of Kansas. I'm sure I'm going to get a bunch of question marks, a bunch of off the wall guesses, but that's fine. That's why it's so fun. Steve Walsh. Kansas is a band from the 80s.
I know it's different, but my brain thought of America's Most Wanted.
Yeah, Steve Walsh.
Yeah. I'm going to say 80.
Mom says 70. Steve Walsh, the lead singer of Kansas. Christy says 74.
72.
Nope. What'd you say, Chris?
80.
You were closest. Actually turning 79. So you were off by one.
79 and a half.
And everybody knows this guy, Neil Patrick Harris.
How I Met Your Mother. He did another show.
How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah, but I mean before that.
Oh, Doogie Howser, MD, when he was a kid.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And he was on Harold and Kumar movies.
I'm going to say 60.
Mom said 50. Neil Patrick Harris.
Um, 48.
Actually, 52. So he's younger than I thought. Chrissy says 53. She was closer.
You thought Neil Patrick Harris was older than that?
Not much older. Because I remember watching his show.
He was a kid,
I know.
a little tiny boy.
And then we have Jim Belushi, who is the brother to John Belushi. And those that don't know, John Belushi was part of the Blues Brothers
Right.
movie.
Are they twins?
Hope not.
I would say 70.
You said 70?
68.
Mm-hmm.
Chrissy's saying 53. Mom said 68. Yeah, the age is 71.
Uh-huh.
So you're close again. Oh, Chrissy said 69. Okay, yeah. You both were close. Then I had to put him on here because he is one of the greatest actors, in my opinion, of all time, Jim Varney, who, those that know, it was Ernest P. Worrell. That's how he became famous on the Ernest movies. He was born in 1949, died in 2000. How old would he be now? Or, well, tomorrow.
What year was he born?
1940. Wow, same age as, same year as my dad. Didn't even realize it.
I would say
76.
90.
What, Chris?
Oh, I don't know. I was trying to count it out of my head, and I'm.
You said 1949? 76.
Okay. 74. I don't know. I was trying to think of quick math in my head, and
Ouch. Yep.
I have to have one overboard.
Mom said 74. But no, Sarah's right. It's 76. And then we have WWE's own Bailey.
35, I think.
You got a guess?
Sorry, I was fixing something. What was that now?
You won't know who she is, but her name's Bailey from WWE.
37.
You're closer. Actually, your age. 36.
I'm 37
36.
in a month.
Yeah, exactly. Don't trick me like that. But yeah, Bailey is turning 36 tomorrow.
Wow.
So she's not my age. She's a year younger than I am. 11 months younger.
And then WWE's own Chuck Palumbo. For those of you that are keeping record, that was Billy and Chuck back in the early 2000s.
Oh, yeah. Didn't they have Rico as like their manager?
Yeah.
Okay. 75?
I have no idea who it is. 62.
Oh, you did well for a roundabout guess. Better than Chris. Mom did question mark. 54.
Okay.
And then the last person I have is NFL's own Cooper Kupp.
29? I don't know.
What does he play for? I forget.
Rams, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Unless he hasn't already been traded. I don't know. I'm going to go with Rams, though. In 29.
Chrissy says
32.
Chrissy says 33. Sarah says 32. Mom says question mark. Sarah got it at 32.
Yeah, I said 29. Wow.
By the way, with who I
Been
was
in the league
thinking,
that
I
long?
was pretty darn close. Because I said 69,
Oh,
and he's 67.
no. All right, and that's all the birthdays I got for this weekend. We're gonna go ahead and move on to our 10 or less list. The first one is Chris Rock. Well, since his first name is Chris, might as well. First.
All right, so my list, I guess. I know it's a top 10 list, but one of the movies on here is top 5.
Well, there you go.
Head of State.
That's why it says 10 or less.
That's right. The Longest Yard, the 2005 edition. I would say the Madagascar series. Let's see. That's pretty much it.
All right, and then we have Sarah. She's gonna do her list.
I had top 5, but I decided that movie wasn't part of my top 10.
Okay.
New Jack City, Down to Earth, Head of State, Spiral from the Book of Saw, I Think I Love My Wife, CB4, Death at a Funeral, Grown Ups 1 and 2, The Longest Yard, and the Madagascar series.
Wow. All righty, and I'm the only one that doesn't have the Madagascar series, huh? Anyway, I got my list here. I have Death at a Funeral, Head of State, Down to Earth, Grown Ups 1 and 2, The Longest Yard, Osmosis Jones, Dr. Dolittle, Beverly Hills Ninja, and Beverly Hills Cop 2.
Who did he play in Dr. Dolittle?
He was the dog.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Well, Dr. Dolittle would have been on my list too then.
Oh, no. He wasn't the dog. He was the rat. The
rat, the hamster thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He was the hamster.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that one.
So, yeah. All right. Then we have our 10 or less of Jessica Biel. Go ahead, Sarah.
Seventh Heaven, The Sinner, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Blade Trinity, The Illusionist, Total Recall, I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry, Valentine's Day, Stealth, and Summer Catch.
And that's a good list. I don't have that long of a list, honestly. I mean, mostly I like watching her in Seventh Heaven, but anyway, I'm gonna do my list. Valentine's Day, I Pronounce You Chuck and Larry. She did really good in Blade Trinity, even though the main reason I even watched that show and love that movie is because of the fact that Triple H is in it, of course.
Of course.
Of course. But she did really well in it too, and I liked her in it. Cellular, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and I'll Be Home for Christmas with Jonathan Taylor Thomas. All right, and then your list there, Chris.
All right, I got it. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Blade Trinity, Home of the Brave, Total Recall, and Valentine's Day.
Well, definitely sounds like we pretty much have the same idea here of the list. And then, anyway, I'm starting to go on a tangent. All right, and our last one is because of the passing of Brian Wilson. Our last one is the Beach Boys. Go ahead, Chris.
So I got the 1999 1966 version of God Only Knows. Good Vibrations. Wouldn't it be nice? Surfs Up. I Get Around. Kokomo. And Heroes and Villains.
That is a real good list. You actually said a song that I forgot about that I'm going to add because I don't have 10. So, but anyway, Sarah, go ahead.
I've got Good Vibrations, California Girls, Surfing USA, Wouldn't It Be Nice, I Get Around, Help Me Rhonda, Kokomo, Don't Worry Baby, Barbara Ann, and Sloop John B.
Wow, that's a lot more than I've heard.
I told you we used to dance to Beach Boys when I was a kid.
And then mine is I Get Around, Wouldn't It Be Nice, Surfing USA, Kokomo. And here's a little, before I move on, here's a little information about Kokomo. Watching the video for it, you can see John Stamos in that video too. Like the Beach Boys was in Full House, especially when dealing with the music video for Forever, or at least the song. John Stamos actually was in the music video for Kokomo, so wanted to throw that out. Good Vibrations. Have you seen, Chris, the movie Vegas Vacation?
I believe so, yes.
It's National Lampoon's
so,
with
yeah.
Chevy Chase. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I have to laugh every time I hear that song now because I imagine Chevy Chase singing it when he's at the beginning of that movie. He's driving in the car, running things over. I have to laugh every time I hear it. So I wanted to point that out. And then Wipeout.
Oh, yeah.
And then I said it a couple minutes ago. It was on Full House, but I absolutely love this song from them, and it's Forever. So, great song. I mean, Beach Boys, I definitely would have loved to see in concert, but I think they've lost like 3 members of their band now, so there isn't much of a group left. But, so anyway, maybe I'm thinking of the Eagles. Maybe I am. Anyway, so anyway, that's pretty much all we have. Chris, do you have anything to add or?
No. Yeah. Thanks everyone for watching, tuning in. I'll be back with another episode in a couple weeks.
All right, and Sarah.
Thank you everyone for watching. Thanks for commenting, Christy and Jean. We appreciate anyone who comments on the show and joins us.
All right, thank you. And like everybody else said, thank you for watching, commenting. We do really appreciate the comments. It gets us to, kind of go off, in a rabbit hole for a moment, but we come right back. So again, Mom, Christy, you guys, thanks for commenting. Mom commented this time and said, bye, y'all. And so I hope you have a good night. And I guess, we'll be back in a couple weeks. And Christy went and did waving emojis. So anyway, I hope everybody has a rest of a good weekend and has a good night. We're out.